What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
I'm sure you have all heard the news by now. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. His Airness, that black cat, the GOAT, all the way from North Carolina. That guy, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, joining NBC, joining the return of the NBA on NBC coming this October in a very special undisclosed role in the near future. We don't know what that role is going to be, but we know he's going to be a part of it in some capacity. Michael Jordan expressed his enthusiasm for his new role as he said, quote, "I am so excited to see the NBA back on NBC. The NBA on NBC was a meaningful part of my career, and I'm excited about being a special contributor to the project. I'm looking forward to seeing you all when the NBA on NBC launches this October." Super excited to see Michael Jordan return. First of all, excited that NBC is back, NBA on NBC. We're going to get that iconic music that we have been, wrongfully robbed of for years now. Years. And it's funny because the NBA on NBC ended the last year of Jordan's career in the fall of 2002 when he was with the Wizards. It's funny how that worked out. Ended with Jordan, returns with Jordan. Amazing. The only thing is, I think his return to television, especially if we see him often and he's a regular, it might take away from some of that mythical lore that he has, because part of that is that we very rarely see him. He doesn't go out and do interviews frequently. He's not seen on TV and sharing his opinions frequently. He'll do some sparse interviews here and there with lengthy time gaps in between. And, obviously he did the documentary, The Last Dance, but outside of that, the interviews he's done is few and far between. And he really hasn't been on, he doesn't go on any of those sports debate shows as a guest or anything like that to talk about anything or give his opinion. You got to catch a particular reporter that's good enough to get an interview with him and sit down in a nice leather chair with a cup of whiskey, a cup of bourbon, whatever the case may be, a cigar, and they do a one-on-one special with him. But that is hard to come by. And I think the last interview I actually watched with Mike, not necessarily his last one in chronological order, but the last one I saw was a sit down with him and Steph Curry at the golf course. I think that was the last one I watched. So I think seeing him a lot now, that much exposure, might take away from that mythical aura he has, because it's like, man, we never see this guy. Most people consider him the GOAT, but he doesn't come out a lot. He's in the shadows. Like after Batman retired after The Dark Knight, and he just became like mythical because he disappeared after the whole situation with Harvey Dent and the Joker and all that, and Harvey had to be the hero. Batman had to be the fall guy, and Batman became a recluse. But his aura and his myth grew during that time. And when he finally popped back out, there were people that didn't even think Batman was real if you were young enough. It's like, damn, this guy does exist. So I think seeing him a lot might take away from some of that, that mythical aura he has. Because a lot of people say, you see Jordan, it's like you see somebody walking on water. That's what a lot of people say when Jordan's in the room. It doesn't even feel real. So it'll be interesting. It will. I hope we don't see him too often. But Stephen A. Smith brought up a good point. Stephen A. met this whole situation with a bit of skepticism. He said, quote, "I just want to know, is it going to be the Michael Jordan you see on television, or is it going to be the Michael Jordan we speak to? Because if it's the Michael Jordan we speak to, it's going to be epic. The things that he will say and the way that he says them and the way that he breaks them down, Lord have mercy. But if it's NBC and the little kids out there are watching and he wants to mind his manners about every little syllable he utters, he'll be all right. I actually agree with Stephen A. Smith. Of course, he's not going to be on camera cursing up a storm, fuck you this, fuck that, all those words. Obviously, it's not going to be to that extent. But are they going to let him speak his mind? Whatever he wants to say, is he going to be allowed to say it? Even if it means taking jabs at their golden child, LeBron James, or whoever else for that matter. Because we know the protective sleeve LeBron James has, the La Media. Has the La Media already infiltrated NBC? I don't know. But I want Michael Jordan to be able to speak his mind and not be subject to network narratives. Please. It has to be authentic for this to work. It has to be. And we're talking about Michael Jordan here. You let this man do whatever the hell he wants to do because he is the GOAT. If Mike says, I want another 2 minutes, you give him another 2 minutes. If Mike says, stop the game, I want to walk out on the court and do a cartwheel, you stop the game and let Mike walk out on the court and do a cartwheel. You hear me? If Mike says, stop the game, there's 1 second left, DeMar DeRozan, give me your jersey, I'm taking the last shot. You let Mike step out on the court and take the last shot. Mike needs to be calling the shots here. Let's go. This would be interesting, man. This would be real interesting. I'm curious what his role is going to be. And the other panel that they fill around him, if he is part of the regular panel or not, who knows. Anyway, folks, that's all I got to say about it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.